What's up, y'all? It's your boy Carcino, man. I might have to do a Patreon version of this because there could be some legal ramifications of what we're about to discuss uh, as far as names. I have not cleared that with lawyers. The National Basketball Association might decide if they want to try to sue me. God knows everybody's been coming at me this week. I mean, coming at me heavy from DJ Vlad to all of them, man. They have been attacking my channel from all sides. So it has been a hell of a whirlwind week, and I need to get this thing discussed now. I've been hella busy to deal with everything. As you've seen, I've been on the move. My cousin was amazing in the play Rent. If you get a chance to go see it, if they extend the show, definitely go see it. It's at the Porch Light Productions. Go down to the theater if you're in the Chicagoland area and you like plays. I highly recommend you go check it out. It's my first time seeing Rent. I didn't know what the heck I was expecting. So it was pretty interesting. And it was actually a musical. It was actually pretty good. But let's get to why we're here. Now, the reason I'm here is because the NBA is doing what they have done in previous years to other organizations. The NBA and Ice Cube has made it known because one, they assumed this would be a failure. But the NBA wanted to show support in what they thought or looked at to be a failure. The Big Three. The Big Three to them was considered to be suspense that they're not going to be able to keep up 2-3 years. They're done. That's what the NBA is thinking. It's cute. It's fun. It'll be out like an MTV Rock and Jock. It's nothing to pay attention to. Former players playing in a 3-on-3 league. We've seen that. It's a, it's a variety show, not a sustainable sports, industry. Something that could actually like have anything to do with us. Now, the Big Three never ever tried to compete with the NBA on anything. We're not here to compete with the NBA. That was never their intentions. But Adam Silver gave his support to the Big Three, saying, "Oh, he thought it was a great idea, um, and that they're actually, doing something in the summer. It really has nothing to do with their thing that they're dealing with, and he wished them success. And now that it is a successful black-owned business, or it's known as the first, they try to say it's the first sports league owned by a black man. That is very incorrect, ladies and gentlemen. Isaiah Thomas was the owner of the CBA. He bought the entire league for $10 million. So he owned the sports league. Nothing, not a knock on Ice Cube, who I believe he bought out his partners. So he's legitimately a black owned business or something like that. So now they have sponsors from Monster Energy Drink, Toyota, I believe, is involved, and a lot of other different sponsors have stepped up with the Big Three. But other pledges who were thinking of getting involved and people who said they had support hadn't really been showing the support that they said they would do. Now, I can't say any names, but that's why I'm saying I want to do a Patreon version where I can actually name some people because Adam Silver was named because he was the head commissioner of the NBA. Ice Cube came out and said Adam Silver told sponsors not to work with us and accused the NBA of trying to destroy the Big Three League. See, this was done before to the same man that I just spoken, Isaiah Thomas. And everybody blame Isaiah Thomas. Oh, he destroyed the CBA. It's the biggest lie in the world. He bought the CBA. And the NBA, once again, they were a summer league organization, no threat to the NBA. The NBA is getting ready to launch a summer league basketball. This is right before Summer League came out. And they wanted Isaiah to shut down the CBA. He wasn't going to do that. So they did what they did. They took away the sponsors. He was going to bring in Toyotas and all those because Isaiah already had business relationships with these corporations because they invested in him. They were sponsoring him while he was playing. So he's already had these connections to major sponsorships. And not just here, but abroad. So now instead of having Joe's Ice Cream, they could have Ford Motor Company. They could have Toyota come in and sponsor the entire league. Now, since that relationship was severed, or the NBA was against it and was going to compete against the CBA by putting up summer leagues, they were taking venues and was going to buy out. The CBA couldn't compete with the little money that they were making. So the owners, Isaiah had to pay out the owners and say, here's your money, which they got paid way more than what their teams was worth, like 2 to 3 times worth. But you're going to have to shut it down. You can't compete. Somebody tried to go and recreate the CBA again. They don't mention that. It died off quick. You're not going to compete with the NBA and Summer League. That's end game. Isaiah knew it right away, saying it's checkmate. They checked the board because they have the money, the infrastructure, everything. So to make it up for Isaiah, who would have absorbed that $10 million loss, they gave him a $10 million contract to coach the Indiana Pacers. You see, this is how they do business. So I've seen it before. So when I'm seeing what's happening with Ice Cube, it's actually happened before. And Adam Silver says one thing out of his snake mouth, and he turns around and does something else.
Step up. And, we definitely need sponsorship, partnerships. We plan on CBS with some of the greatest athletes that ever played the game. And some of the legends as part of the game. Right. So, we expected full support. We haven't really got it yet. And so
big business having to get involved with your guys?
Huh?
Some of the big corporations didn't get involved with you guys?
Some of them have, but not all of them. We've had people step up, like Monster Energy and Toyota and Microsoft, But we still looking for, Nike and Pepsi and,
Yeah.
all the big ones to step up all the categories, cars, insurance.
They won't.
Step up to them.
Of course, we step
gotta
up.
let them know.
Come on now, Mike. Come on, baby.
I know, but
We in their face all the time.
Let them know.
What are they keep telling us to, they'll get back with us. So, we just stand patient, but, at the end of the day, support us. We definitely not getting support from the NBA or ESPN. I think, actually it's time.
I would
for
think
Adam Silver to
ESPN
go.
would
Yeah, it's time for Adam Silver to go. Adam Silver's in the way. But it's not just Adam Silver. See, that's what Ice Cube don't really know. Silver's really the face. There's some other names I'm gonna name, and I'm gonna do it on the Patreon because I know what Ice Cube is talking about. Oh, Psyche. They decided they wanted to actually put together a actual plan in which they do business with the NBA, long as they have their contract with the NBA, making all the jerseys. Nike has that partnership with the NBA. They will never do business with the big three because the NBA won't allow that. So to keep that relationship with the NBA and keep them away from Adidas, they are definitely doing business with only the NBA and won't do business with the big three. Pepsi, they might can get, but there's another problem with that, and we're gonna once again discuss names on the Patreon for legal ramifications. So we'll do that. Now, here's the bigger problem, and that he mentioned that was quite interesting. ESPN, every sports person's nightmare. Listen, they have a partnership with the National Basketball Association, so you guess what? They're not going to show any love to you or definitely CBS. CBS is in line with Showtime. Now, I would like Showtime to be more involved with the big three because CBS Showtime is where all their prime time, CBS, Showtime, and Fox, they work pretty much well together. Now, the problem is CBS Sports said no to the NBA many years ago. 1990, they let the National Basketball Association go to NBC. They said after 1990, 1991 started the new era, and they missed out. But in the end, CBS won. And this is why NBC almost went bankrupt and CBS didn't. They said, no, we won't let a sports market dictate our network. We won't tie our network into sports. Because once you do, you're alienating your programming and you're building it all off sports. Players retire and then people will lose interest. Michael Jordan was the hottest thing. And then when he retired for 2 years and came back, they had a good 7, 8 year run. And next thing you know, it was over. In like 10 years, they were out of their deal with NBC. NBC programming wasn't keeping up with the NBA. People weren't sticking around to watch NBC shows because of the NBA. and they were trying to use that to fill their time slot. Unlike the NFL, people are done. People was watching 60 Minutes right after, followed by Murder She Wrote. Pat Summerall. Coming up next is 60 Minutes, followed by Murder She Wrote. So you automatically know there's a problem within the organization as far as the structuring of how things are going to be ran, how's it going to be funneled or tunneled to you, the consumer. You already know that there's an infrastructure problem that's in the development. So once you know, okay, we got a problem within the development of what we're actually doing here, what are we actually doing? So they claim that we're all about supporting black businesses, but behind the back, you're trying to sabotage them because you just want to give the appearance. So this is why LeBron James has been kept in the place that he is. He's a puppet. LeBron haven't even came out to support the big three. None of them have. But if you tell them to do it on film, they be, oh yeah, big three, love it. My boy Q, yeah. But he won't show up at a game. And it's summertime. He's not saying, hey, I want to put some money into your league. I want to support. Why LeBron James ain't came to Ice Cube and saying, yo, you having a problem with Nike? I got you. I'm going to get the rep to Nike on the phone right now. We're going to find out what the problem is. Because they're not in competition with the NBA. They're not competitors. Then it goes from that to a whole nother entity. African American ownership within the NBA. See, what the NBA wants to do is acquire the big three in a partnership and get it for the low. They want to buy it out. But they know that's bad press. If the NBA comes in and tries to buy out the big three, it's going to be problems. But if they make it financially hard for Ice Cube and make it to where the big three is losing money, they came in to try to save the big three. The NBA steps up to save the big three by taking part ownership of the big three. And now here comes sponsorships. It's dirty business. But Ice Cube ain't stupid. He sees it. I see it. I've seen these business practices before. They've dirtied up the game. And everybody know what it is. This goes all the way back to the Kobe Bryant logo. Adam Silver's had a problem with Kyrie Irving dating all the way back to then. Trust me, this thing is bigger than what y'all know. This whole thing is really bigger than what you guys realize. This is a whole movement that went against what the NBA was about. The NBA tried to steal the 4-point shot from the big three. Y'all didn't know that. That was brought up in the meeting. I told y'all, but nobody listens to me. Ice Cube was aware of it too. That it was discussed of making a 4-point shot or a 5-point shot in the NBA. Because Steph Curry, Dame Lillard, they're shooting from so far of a distance that and with consistency, that 3 points just doesn't seem enough for a shot like that. So that was brought up in discussion. But they said it's too premature, and that would take away probably from the game if we'll have too many people attempting those many shots, might bore the game down. Because it's already a 3-point league. Do we want it to be a 5-point league? Where people, it started because what they do affects AAU, it affects everything else, and people who are trying to teach and coach games going to have players shooting 5-point shots. And you're going to have a coach losing his mind. So that's not where you want to go. But yes, there are a lot of moving parts to this puzzle. So Ice Cube knows exactly what I'm talking about because he's living it. But I've seen it all before, good people.
Involved with this?
No, because ESPN is involved with the NBA. So the NBA looks at us as a competitive league.
Really?
They look at us as a competition. Yeah, they do. And it's a shame because we're not competition. You know, we're complementary. Right. And so we think the NBA, I really think it's time for Adam Silver to go. Huh?
If that was a person, that would be some insecure motherfucker.
It is. It's some bullshit. And they know it. They know, it's a lot of owners that want to invest in the big three, but they can't because you can't invest in a competitive league.
That's weird to me because the strength of the NBA, even starting with David Stern, was to build individual stars amongst the team game. And you would think since these NBA players have come, played in your league, and gone on and continue to do something that you would continue to promote them after basketball.
Well,
see, that was the key that he just said. Other sponsors want to get involved, but they have a non-compete clause. Like they can't sign with the NBA and sign another one with that is in competition with the NBA. But they saying no, we're complementary. We're not in at the same time. But the NBA is going to say, well, you're coming on at the same time as WNBA. And to me, that's competition. We own the WNBA. So no, we can't do that. They'll come up with anything after saying that they were a complementary league. Now they won't even speak about the big three because they already know what they're trying to do. You see, this is where the black entrepreneurs, the black investors, these $100 million, $600 million guys who got their money, this is where you start investing in something that you see as progressively a black business and you support it. See, they couldn't do this to any other race or religion or group and everything else because they are backed by their people. You see what I'm saying? Cube got Dr. Dre backing him. He's got a lot of other people like rappers in the game that's backing him. Kaepernick did not put any money in too, by the way. He cleared that up. He didn't put any money into the big three. So it's just letting you know how deep the rabbit hole really is. You know, it's like once a fool, twice a fool, 3 times a fool, 4 times a fool. Who gonna fool with a fool? Right? We know Adam Silver's crooked. Whenever they come to the Chicago, I support the big three. If I'm not there, I've sent somebody there. I bought tickets. I'm supporting the big three. it's gonna get to the point where I don't support the NBA because I come there supporting players. You know, I don't come there for the league. I come there for the players. So, right, the game of basketball. You know, that's what I like to see, the game. Period. I could watch a game of basketball and tell who's skilled and who needs to work on their skills just by looking at the game. I know what's supposed to happen on some. It's like I know what's supposed to happen on a fast break. I know who's supposed to be in the middle and who's supposed to be on the side and how and what angle they're supposed to take on a 3-on-1 break. In the 70s, a 3-on-1 break would end up that was 82% a scoring position for the offense. A 3-on-1 break in today's NBA is 42% completion. 42% completion rate on a 3-and-1 break in today's NBA. When it was so high, a 3-on-1 break was so high in the 70s and 80s. How? Because they don't practice or run a 3-on-1. They 3-on-1 leads to somebody shooting a 3. They're not running towards the goal, they're running towards the 3-point line. That lowers your chances. And for Golden State, that might be a layup with Clay and Steph. That's still not something you coach. So I just wanted to say that. And I want to say thank you guys, man, for all the things you've done. Thanks to the people that keep hitting on my Cash App. Carcino is the name on the Cash App, which is Karceno. Super Chat. Thank you for those who decided to hit the Super Chat. Appreciate the love and support. We are fighting to make sure you guys get the notifications. It's been a lot of red tape and making sure people get what they deserve. But we are fighting for you, without a doubt. Now, where does that leave us? Well, let's see, where does it leave us? Because it's not in a bad place. So it's time for Cash App questions. Let's go to some Cash App questions. We got one saying that could they get more insight on the Illuminati? Well, that is is actually here. I've actually done that. I've done the truth behind hip hop and the Illuminati. And the Illuminati, period. Like, it's already done, like, years ago, like, to perfection. The satanicism, like, all of it. Like, I really did it. Like, 3 parts. Like, it's majorly done. Can't get no better. So I think that covered everything, and it's crazy how it's all coming to fruition right now. So that's been done. Terrence Crawford, does he knock out Errol Spence after last night? I'm convinced he will stop Spence. I've always thought he's gonna stop Spence. Spence's style leads for him to get knocked out. He's active. He comes forward, throwing punches. He jabs more than this guy. He's a little bit more stronger and efficient with his power with that guy. With the body punches and things of that nature. But he's going against somebody who's a buzzsaw. And once he hits Arrow, he'll stop Arrow. And I think it might be within 6-7 rounds. It might just go to 7. Yeah, I picked the exact round that Terrence Crawford was going to win it. So, yeah, I made money last night. Lots of money. A lot of money. Um, yeah, shouts out to them. Okay, what he's saying, do I feel that the industry is... No, we're going to do a Patreon version. We're going to do a Patreon version of this, and then you're going to have more understanding because you're going to have the names behind it. Why are our most brightest always silent? Our biggest stars. Oprah, LeBron, and others are always silent when it comes to the real black issues. Well, that's what he's trying to say in this short period of time. And yes, they are very silent because they're paid. They're not... Oprah's a billionaire and she's got people controlling her. So that shows you how much $1 billion don't give you your freedom. Generational wealth gives you your freedom. She don't have generational wealth. They can cut Oprah off, like pull the plug out, and she's done. She said the wrong thing. Bill Gates, Bill Gates has generational wealth. You see what I'm saying? You see how they did Bill Cosby? They have foundational wealth. You see, their wealth can be taken away. At any given time, they feel, meaning the people that are above them, they feel they can do whatever they want. When they want to do it. Oh, we gonna get into a lot of that too. Kyrie Irving is going to be the face of the NBA, in my opinion, even if they don't like it. No, he will never be the face because he doesn't want to be the face. He's not. The NBA won't allow Kyrie Irving to be the face of the league. Thanks for the super chat, though. I mean, Cash App. Appreciate it. I love the Cash App, and I love the energy. But no, they will never let him be the face of it. What do I think about Pusha T turning on Kanye West? Well, here's the thing. People is loyal. They're as loyal as their bank account. Kanye West was he thinking about Pusha T and Pusha T family when he was doing what he was doing? This is why you don't sign to a man like Kanye West. You think it's good for you, but it's not. In the end, if I'm in a company and it's owned by Kanye West, I know it might get shut down tomorrow. It could get shut down at any given moment he has a breakdown. If the company is existing on this man's psychological feelings, at any given moment, that could be gone. So you playing Russian roulette with your family and your life being signed on business with Kanye West. I've told you guys this a long time ago. You didn't believe me. Now everybody is singing my song. So you guys just caught up. So I want y'all to say, sorry, Sino, you was right all along. Straight up. Should Brett Favre go to jail, Sino? They will never convict Brett Favre of anything. He'll be forced to pay some type of a fine. That's it. Because that's what they do. They don't lock their people up. What is this? I agree with Charleston White, Sino. I know y'all got beef. But I don't have no beef with them. I just don't want nothing to do with it. But let me finish reading. I think he's right. All the NBA players should just leave the NBA. To do what? To do what? Of course, we agree that they should definitely form their own league or at least have some part of the ownership. But when you're going to walk away from 68, 70, 100 million, $200 million contracts to go to $0 and take a leap of faith, you got to say, okay, who's in charge? There's no plan. You see what I'm saying? There's no plan in place. We're not organized enough. So where it sounds pretty, it sounds nice. We're not organized enough for that. Man, Philly getting bad, Sino. I'm out here in Philly, man. You need to do some talk about that because it's bad. The crime in Philly is getting really bad. We're getting this worse in Chicago, man. Do some research about Philly. I'd love to see a video on it. Okay, I don't really know, so like about what the crime looks like in Philly, but the crime is going up everywhere because one, people don't think one reaction or one leak to something leads to something else. Lack of jobs, all of these things, lack of resources leads to this. And this is what a lot of people would want. Chaos, theft, people breaking in cars. I know you don't do drill rap or new age, but you should do review on Juice World. I like Juice World. I play some of his music. Burn was my favorite song. Burn, burn, burn. I used to play some Juice World. I like some of the songs. You know, it's just like some of it is cool. You know, it's like all right, that's alright. It's dope. It's just not my form of music. This is like 2 generations down from me music. So, you know, I'd rather listen to some KRS-One, Public Enemy, LL. You know, I'm in that era. So I just stay in my era. But I don't want to make this video longer than what it is. There will be a Patreon version also coming out where we go over the names of who's really behind a lot of these things. It's your boy Carcino. I'm out.